right, where I finished off was at the last physical event. Yeah, so for the Soldier of the Year, NCO of the Year competition, the last event was that medical lane. And what I was getting at was you were running around with a jug which simulated you carrying a litter. You ran to the first station, which was maybe like 100 meters away, and you had to conduct first aid on that casualty. After you conducted first aid on that casualty, you put him onto the litter, and that was done. That was it for that event. Then you had to take up the, you write down all the information on the TCCC card, which has all the information like where the casualty was hurt, what type of necessary aid did you provide to the casualty. So you had to run to a radio, set up the radio, and then call in a 9 line. So you ran or walked, whatever you did, ran to that station, with the water jug, called in that 9 line. Then you had to continue to run to a station where there was a 180-pound sled. You had to load that casualty onto the sled, which was like a skid sled, which you had to drag him around these cones, which was maybe like, I don't know how many meters, but it wasn't just a casualty on there. They added a 45-pound plate on there. So you're dragging the casualty plus the 45-pound plate. It was heavy, and it really took you out, because imagine the build-up now. You just did a 12-mile run the day before. You did an AFT. You're doing land nav. You're all cut up because there was a bunch of thorns. You know what I'm saying? You did an obstacle course where you were cramping up on. So you hopped in the water, swam after running a whole mile in full kit, and dragging ammo cans 200 miles. So you get what I'm saying? It's a physical thing. The Soldier of the Year thing, it wasn't easy. At least for me, it wasn't easy. And even the Rangers said it wasn't easy. Like, it was genuinely hard task. But I appreciated the experience. I really did. Anyways, so you drag that sled around the cones that were set up. Then after that, you had to carry the water jug all the way back to the start point, which was a good 200-300 meters away. And it was through tough grass. Like, the grass wasn't cut. It was like some rough grass. So you have to walk. You're walking on that grass all the way back, and that was the same grass that you're dragging that 180-pound sled on. So it was hard work. Trust me, it was hard work. Yep. So after that, now, that was like our last event for the day. After that, we loaded back up on the bus, and they had a little cookout for us, and we did our weapons maintenance. We cleaned our weapons and turned them in, pretty easy. And we just chilled out because we were basically done at that point. Only the last event was just the board, right? The board with the sergeant majors. So I think everyone got the same question, besides the NCOs, of course. They had different questions, but everybody was asked the same question. And after you were done your board, you were told to leave and change back into your OCPs. But at this point, they were keeping us up to date with where we were ranked. And at this point, I was in second place, but I was a close second place. Like I told you, that ruck march is what killed me. I would have won if it wasn't for that ruck march. But I'm not sorry. Like, I feel good about how I did. Like, I was so proud of myself, to tell you the truth. And it's been a while since I've been that proud of myself. I'm gonna lie. So it was the board. I thought I was gonna bomb it, honestly. Cause I'm like, I know some of the other guys, like, I came second place on the written history exam, Army history, and the guy that came first, I was like, yeah, this guy's gonna win. Like, he knows everything. Like, I've been to I've been to 2 boards, one in basic training and one through ROTC, but it wasn't nothing like crazy. All the stuff that we had to study was like a big general, like it was so much stuff that you had to study. And you know, they're not telling you the specific questions, they're just giving you the topics. But surprisingly, thank God, I came in second place. And I think the biggest thing they always say with boards is confidence. So I went in there genuinely being myself, but I went in there being confident, proud of myself, because I already knew that I could submit my second place, because the first place position, you weren't touching them at this point. But there was a slight chance, slight possibility that someone could have snatched up my second place spot if I didn't do well, and I would have probably bumped to like 3rd place, maybe even 4th place, because the other guys behind me were just about 4 points behind, you know what I'm saying? So it could have been even like a little tie for 2nd place. Anyways, after that was said and done, everybody felt good. We were all proud. You know, everybody was cut up. Like, even my hands, I still got a few scars on my hands and stuff from it. It was just a great experience. It was just a great experience for me personally. Like I said, I was grateful to God. I learned a lot of things, met some new people, and overall, my biggest takeaways and my biggest words of encouragement, and if I had to do it again, how I would study to prepare for it is definitely look at the MOI, which is the email that they send you with all the information and all you need to study. Make flashcards. Take your time out. It doesn't matter. Try to take time out of the day or of your evening and write the flashcards down and just start looking over them in advance. It's going to start flowing. Understand and know, if you don't know the answer, know where you can find the answer, right? So if you don't know how your BC should be worn, you could say, hey, Sergeant Major, I am unable to answer that question at this time, but I would refer to AR 670-1 in order to get that information. You know, so you know where to get the information, but you just don't know the specific answer. That's how you answer those questions there, right? And they may still give you like 2 points for that question. They may not give you 5 points because it wasn't answered correctly, but you know something. So that's always makes you look a little bit better. So get your flashcards and study. Know your chain of command, because on the history exam, and like I'm saying, I'm sure everybody's best warrior, best soldier competition is different. It's not ever the same. Like, you can expect a AFT, right? You can expect a PT test. You can expect a ruck march. You can expect shooting, most likely. Those are things that you just expect. Even though, actually, I didn't expect those things. I didn't know what to expect. I assumed that maybe it was going to be a ruck march, and which I was ready for, because with ROTC, I did a ruck march 2 weeks prior, which I killed that ruck march. But the difference was there wasn't any hills with the ruck march I did. It was kind of more straight ground, but I killed that ruck march. But I think the issue with the ruck march I did at at the competition was my body was just so tired and worn out. So, I just cramped up. And remember, that day was so physical as well. So it's whatever. Anyways, physically prepare yourself, right? Go out there, run. Go out there, ruck a little bit. Keep running. Keep doing your push-ups, because you want to make sure you're good for all the physical events. You don't necessarily need, and that's the thing with the Army or the military. It's not always just being big and strong and muscular and bulky. Like, you still have guys that is super muscular and strong, but they're agile. If you're that big, muscular, agile guy, you're good to go. But just make sure you're strong enough to compete and agile enough to compete when it comes on to stuff like obstacle course or maneuvering. You know what I'm saying? So that's the other biggest thing. Physically prepare. Mentally prepare, or educationally prepare by writing down questions for the board. Make sure you have your AGSUs or your dress uniform, whichever one you have. Make sure you have that ready to go, because I didn't have that ready to go. That stuff. Take your time out. Figure out what ribbons you need, where they're supposed to be aligned. Make sure you have your unit patch, all those simple stuff like that I didn't know. Make sure you have that ready and good to go. That's another tip. Brush up on your land nav, because most likely you're going to do land nav. So brush up on your land nav, even if it's just look up, how to find an azimuth if you forgot, or what's the steps, so that when you do get that little practical exercise, you're not lost. Me, I wasn't lost because I know how to do land nav. I'm still not the greatest, but I know what to do. I'm okay. I'm decent. I won't get like lost. But I'm not going to go that way. But yeah. And let me see, what other advice could I give? Stay mentally grounded. Like even if there ends up being like a stud, like a ranger that you're competing against, and it's like, yeah, he's gonna win, and it's obvious he's gonna win. Just appreciate the moment. Understand that you were selected by your chain of command, by the army itself to compete, because they see you as a best, they see you as greater than your peers, basically, right? You are selected to compete for the prestigious title of Soldier of the Year, NCO of the Year. That's a big deal. So I didn't understand it in that way until people were telling me, like, yo, you're like the second best soldier in the state. I mean, yes, second, but still, that means that you're still one of who the Pennsylvania National Guard sees you as one of the top soldiers. And I had the potential to compete in the regional competition if something were to happen to that soldier, the soldier who won first place, right? So you can never get that taken away from you. Like you are, and you earned your spot to be there and compete. So it is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just be mentally grounded. Don't get fussed. Don't get too, like, I kind of was getting a little frustrated, because you will, because it's physically demanding. It's going to be hot, maybe cold. I was hot and cold. Might get wet. You may get wet. All those different things. But just remember that you're going through it with people. It's not just you doing it by yourself, which is cool. You have people going through the same experience with you. So depend on them, make connections, make friends. And remember that, hey, you're the best in the state. You were chosen to compete. So yeah, that would be my biggest words of advice for the competition. Yo, if you ever competed in it, or if you want to compete in it, or if you are asked to, yo, comment in the comment section, or hit me up on social media or something if you need some more specific tips. I got you. That's what I made this channel for. Yeah, with that being said, thanks for tuning in again. I'll give you guys a ROTC. Bro, I got this fly in my car. There you go. I'll give you this ROTC update pretty soon. Thank you for tuning in. All right.